Imagine your smartphone only being able to make calls. You'd be missing out on photos, payments, and of course, endless puppy videos. Descript is like your smartphone. It's an all-in-one tool, but if you only know about a fraction of its features, you're missing the full power of what it's capable of. In this video, I'll walk you through 3 powerful Descript tools that will save you time and help you make better videos. I'll start by showing you how to add annotations to your videos. Then we'll look at how to use AI to generate stunning photos. And make sure to stick around for the last tip because it might save you hundreds of dollars per year on stock media subscriptions. Your ability to have an impact on your viewer is directly related to your ability to clearly communicate your idea. And I'm not talking about the words you use or even how you present them. Think back to when you were in school. We all had that teacher whose board looked like this. My guess is you looked like this. On the other hand, we had that teacher whose board looked like this. For those classes, you probably looked like this. When it comes to your videos, you want to be the second teacher. You want your videos to have visual elements that will guide the viewer's attention to what you're teaching. You want to make it easy for them to see and understand what's important on their screen. So how do we do that? By adding annotations. Adding annotations to your video is an essential skill for making your video easier to follow and understand. Here's how to do it. Let's say, for example, that in your video, you're showing an article, like this very excellent article that's on the screen right now. And you could just show them the whole block of text and let them figure it out for themselves if you're quoting a line from it or highlighting an important fact or figure that's in that article. Or what you can do is come to Elements, scroll down in here, and this is where your annotations section is. And you can pick any one of these that might be useful in this situation, or you can hit Show All, and there's the complete list of built-in Descript annotations. But let's say that we want to underline a very specific line to draw the viewer's attention to it. I can click on this underline one, and it says Element Applied. And if I hit play, that's what it looks like. It's white, so it's hard to see, and it's too big, and it's not in the right place. So we're gonna do some stuff to this. First, come to Effects, and then highlight this section here, hit the plus button, come to Color Adjustments, hit this dials here, and I'm gonna turn this red so it stands out. So I just turned the temperature here. If you turn it all the way up, it turns blue. If you turn it all the way down, it turns red. And then I'm gonna grab the corners to resize it, and then I'm gonna click in the middle and just move this whole thing so that it's under this line that says amazing videos quickly and easily. And then if I click this left arrow to return to the beginning of my scene, you can see it's gone because that animation hasn't started yet at that particular keyframe. But as soon as I hit play, there it is. And so that draws the viewer's attention. If I'm saying that in my video, you can use Descript to make amazing videos quickly and easily. I can have that underline play right as I'm saying it, and it'll draw the viewer's attention there and make it that much more effective. As another example, let's say you're making a software tutorial like I am right now. You've probably seen me using those curved arrows. Well, I'm gonna show you how to do that. We're gonna go back to Elements, scroll down, again in the annotation section, and this is the arrow I've been using right here. So click on that, Element Applied, and as before, we can't see it because it's on the very first frame of our video, but as soon as we hit play, it's gonna look like this. And there we go. And now you can use that if you say, click on that button, and your viewer is not gonna know what button you're talking about unless you give some sort of visual representation. So now you can say, click on that button, and then you have that arrow play, and it looks like that. If you're an artist, look out. The robots are coming for your job. This next trick is like having your own photographer or graphic designer on staff. All you have to do is give it an instruction in plain English of what kind of image you want it to create, and it'll do it. And it won't just give you one, it'll give you 4 options to choose from, and you can then pick one to put into your video. Here's how it works. Inside of your project, come to this thing in the top right that says Underlord. Click on that. And these are all grayed out because I have just a blank project, but you might see all these have stuff in them. Otherwise, come down to this one that says Generate an Image. And here is where you can describe your image. And there's the prompt that I used in my example at the beginning of this section. I typed in robot wearing a beret painting an image. Let's try something else. I have a husky, so I'm gonna say husky sitting on a throne wearing a crown and silky cape. And you can also give it detailed instructions like make it photorealistic, make it hand-drawn, make it 3D, make it futuristic. So I'm gonna say make it cute and anime style. And then I'm gonna hit submit. Underlord is thinking. This could take a couple minutes. And there are my 4 images. So I can just pick my favorite one, or if I don't like any of them, I can hit that little recycle looking button, the little circular arrows, and that'll generate another variation. But if I like it, I can just click on it. I like this one right here. And there it is. That image is now inside of my project. And from here, I can move it around. I could resize it. I could make it into a circle and do all types of stuff like that. And if I want to keep this image and save it to my computer so that I could post it to social media or do something else with it, I can go to Project, and Project is where all the files that make up your project live. So now that I've created this thing, it's going to be called an AI asset. So it created this folder here called AI asset inside of the files section. And there it is. It gives it the name of the prompt. So husky sitting on a throne wearing a crown and silky cape. And if I simply click on the 3 dots right here, in this drop down that comes up, there's a download button. So I can click on that and I could download it to my computer and use it anywhere else I want on the internet. And let's go back to Underlord and let's try husky driving an Italian sports car convertible with the top off. And I hit submit. Underlord is thinking. How fantastic is that? Look at these. Super, super fun. So you can get as creative as you can possibly imagine with this tool. You know what I've never heard anyone say before? I wish I had more subscriptions. And yet, I've had dozens of Descript students ask me, what stock media subscriptions do I recommend? And they tell me about the $20 per month music library they have and the $14.99 image library they have. And my answer, I don't spend a dime on stock media. Descript does a terrible job of marketing this because I'm shocked how many of my clients aren't aware of it. But save your money because stock music, sound effects, videos, images, all of that is included with your Descript subscription. Here's how to take advantage of them. From inside of your Descript project on the right side, find this button on the bottom right that says stock. That's going to be all your stock media. Click on it. The first thing to know here is at the top, you have a search bar. So you could type in anything you want here. Let me type in husky. I was talking about huskies before. So I type that in, I hit enter, and we get some very cool husky stuff. We get some videos of people petting a husky. We get some images. These are stills. And the GIFs didn't really change, but we'll go into that in a moment. So that's the first thing is you can do a search from the highest level where it'll search through all these different categories. If I get rid of that, I hit this little X here. I'm back to where I started. And you can see these categories are video, Giphy GIFs, images, Giphy stickers, and backgrounds. And these are all under the visual headings. Next, we're going to talk about audio, but for now, we're under the visual. So if we go into any of these categories, so under video, I can click show all, and I can scroll through the default things that are here. Or once again, I have the search bar at the top, and I could type something in, like ocean, for example. And I get all these beautiful images of oceans. And if I hover over it, it plays a little preview of that video in this case, and it shows in the bottom right how long that video is or how long it is into that playback. If I like it, I can simply click on it and it's going to put that into my project. And there it is. So now I have this nice image of a beach in my project. And from here, I can edit it just like any other layer. I could play with the colors. I could play with the speed, make it fast, make it slow, zoom in on it, all sorts of things like that. Or even just use it as a background. But let's go back and let's look at Giphy GIFs. So here are Giphy GIFs. These are sort of more like memes. They tend to be like scenes from movies or could be like cartoons, that type of thing, or little sayings. And again, the ocean search is still typed in, so I'm getting ocean themed stuff. If I go back, images are just stills, so these are exactly that. They're not gonna move, they're just still photographs. I can go back. Giphy stickers are similar to Giphy GIFs, but these are even more cartoonish. As you can see, they're like hand-drawn type of things, and they look like this. If I go back, the last one is backgrounds. And backgrounds, some of these move, most of them move. As you can see, I get the same thing I have with the videos where if I hover over it, it'll play a preview of it. And these tend to not really have a subject. They're just exactly what it sounds like. They're backgrounds. And so these can be really nice to use for title screens or just any other purpose that might be useful for your workflow. So that's it for the visual tab. Let me get rid of this search and let's toggle over to audio. So under audio, we only have two categories, music and sound effects. And it works the same here where you can type in a search, like let me type in orchestral, hit enter, and I can see all the different orchestral tagged sounds. And if I hit show all under the music category, I get the music and you can see it's got the name of the song, it's got how long it is. This one's 1:21. And I can preview it with this play button. I can hit this plus button to go ahead and add that into my project. And then from there, I can edit it like any other sound layer. But let's go ahead and go back. So under the music section, there is the sound effects category. And inside of this sound effects, I can hit show all as before. And same thing, I can preview these and I can hit plus. The distinction between sound effects and music is sound effects tend to be very short. You can see that top one is 5 seconds. And the music tends to be anywhere from like a minute up to 4 minutes for the very longest ones. But sound effects can be things like whoosh noises or bells or footsteps, keyboard typing, things like that. Let me just play one. There's a whoosh sound. But the point is, save your money. Descript has thousands and thousands of videos, sound effects, everything that you need right here built into it. You're already paying for it, so you might as well use it. It's one thing to know that these tools exist, but it's another skill to know how to use them fast and efficiently. You're gonna wanna check out this video next, where I show you tips for producing videos in record time.